This module will teach you how to cut long layers by combining traditional and modern haircutting techniques. First, the hair is cut wet with traditional techniques to easily manage the length and density, and then the hair is cut dry to visually create the desired layers. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a section from the tip of the nose to the top of the crown, and then we're going to take a vertical section from the top of the crown to behind the ear, and we're going to clip the back away from the front. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. Once we've separated the front from the back, we're going to take a center section from the top of the crown to the nape of the neck, and then a slightly diagonal section above the occipital bone to the middle of the ear. Now, the idea here is you're going to take as much hair as you can manage. So for this particular model, she had a fair amount of density, so I wanted to subsection it a little bit, just so I felt like I had a little more control over the hair. So from here, with the head tilted forward, we're going to take a vertical section down that center back. And after I've taken that vertical section down the center back, we're going to go in and we're going to just very gently point cut the perimeter line out. I want their hair to be slightly soft and diffuse, so I don't want it to be too blunt. And then I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do that. Number one, I can cut below my fingers. Option two is I can cut above my fingers. Or option three is I can let the hair just fall into gravity and just cut it as it is. All of these are acceptable depending on how strong or precise you want that perimeter to be. Knowing, however, that whatever I've done wet, I'm going to have to refine dry anyway. So here I go, softening that up, and I'm just going to point cut that initial length out, letting it fall right into gravity, holding it very loosely, knowing that I want that hair to be nice and soft and diffused, and still strengthening up that perimeter line that was quite airy and very broken. Once I've completed that diagonal section in the back, I'm going to let the hair fall from the top. I'm going to comb that down, and I'm going to connect it and use that underneath as my guide to point cut. Now, she already has so many layers in there anyway, so there wasn't a lot of perimeter length to cut. After we've completed the back, we're going to bring the back to the front. So we take the head, we tilt it over, up, and back, and then we're going to connect that back corner to the front. As you can see, we're missing that hair in the front. That angle has been cut all the way back into our perimeter line, so there really isn't anything for us to do except to preserve that front corner. So we're going to build an angle around the face. So I'm going to take a section that mirrors the hairline, and I'm going to drag that hair all the way over to the other side. And as I do that, I really want to preserve my corner length, and I'm going to use the tips of my shears, and I'm going to let them rest on my fingers, and I'm just going to very gently point cut through because I want to cut with softness. I don't want there to be a blunt line, and I want to be able to drag that hair that's shorter to contain and maintain its length. So here I am, I'm just going through, opening and closing my shears, really preserving that perimeter length. So as you'll see, I'm really bringing that hair over and to me, and I'm point cutting through to really build a nice soft concave arc around her face so I don't go too far into her corner and cut her length. So as I continue on, I'm going to take another diagonal section, I'm going to bring it all the way over to the other side, and I'm going to continue to just point cut nice and softly, maintaining this idea of modern hair cutting where the hair isn't too blunt, there's some nice soft movement, it feels modern with a nice frame around the face. So as I come through, I'm just dragging that hair over, and I'm going through and I'm just point cutting that out, and then connecting as I go through, and I'm going to continue to go diagonally until I run out of hair. And what I've essentially done is build a nice, beautiful frame that lives around the face. Now, if that hair feels like it's too much for me to manage, I can subsection it above the parietal ridge and then also below the parietal ridge as I continue to build and open up that corner around her face. Dragging the hair all the way over to the other side and point cutting through and really making sure to protect and maintain my corner. After I've completed that one side, I'm going to go to the opposite side. Now, traditionally, this side is considered our weaker side. So as I take that diagonal section, I'm going to show you an alternative of how you hold your comb. So you're going to flip your comb, number one. You don't want to be holding it from the bottom. You want to hold it from the top. You're going to bring that hair all the way over to you on the other side. And as we do that, I'm going to tilt the head away from me. By tilting the head away from me, I'm able to really preserve that corner and bring that hair up into me. And then I'm going to continue to maintain the same technique that I did earlier. I'm going to take a little bit of hair from the other side, use that as my guide, and come through and point cut that through to maintain my corner. So on both sides, I'm able to maintain a really strong arc that preserves that corner and really opens the face. And as I continue to take sections, I can always move the head so it's in my direction so I can see it very clearly, and then tilt the head away, flip my comb, and then bring that hair over and to me as I continue to drag the hair from underneath and come through and point cut on top of my fingers. Nice and soft, working my way from shorter to longer, really preserving that perimeter line. I can also point cut it in different ways. Instead of coming through like this, I can hold the shears in another way and come through and just connect my short to my long to really preserve that corner and make sure that I don't cut into my perimeter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a section of hair from the top of the crown to behind the ear, and another section of hair, top of the crown to behind the ear. I'm going to take as much hair as I can manage, and what we're going to do is we're going to really work with that concave layer. I'm going to leave the perimeter alone, let that hair above the occipital bone fall out a bit, and then tilt that head slightly back. And I want to just very gently build a nice soft concave layer. So as you'll notice, I'm still using the tips of my shears. I'm not cutting the hair bluntly. I'm really cutting it with softness, with movement in mind, knowing that I want that hair to have a nice finish at the end. So as I continue on, I've given her some nice concave layers, and I've been able to preserve the perimeter length and density. Next section, I'm going to take a vertical section. I'm going to move that section over. I'm going to add a little bit of my previous section along with that other section. I'm going to come through. I'm going to let that hair fall below that parietal ridge, that crown. I'm going to let that hair out. That's the perimeter. I want to leave it alone. I'm going to tilt the head slightly back, and I'm going to connect my guide all the way through, making sure not to cut too far into the perimeter density as well as the length. My goal here is just to create some nice soft layers up here and not get down to the length and density of the perimeter. So as I continue, I'm working my way around. I'm over-directing the hair slightly back to keep a little stronger of a corner, and then I'm going in nice and soft, point cutting my shears, really just preserving that balance. You'll notice that that head is slightly tilted back, so I'm really preserving that length and density at the perimeter. After I completed the left side, I'm going to move on to the right. I'm going to take that vertical section. I'm going to flip my comb on this side. And then as I go through, I'm going to make sure to leave the hair above the occipital bone alone. That's length and density. I don't need to cut it. My goal is to really work with the layers around the crown area. I'm going to tilt that head slightly back so I'm not elevating my body too much. And then I'm going to open and close my shears, just using the points of the shears to really get in to that nice soft concave layering. I'm using the tips of my shears to cut through, and I'm just creating a nice soft, refined, concave layer, preserving my perimeter length and density. After I've completed that back section, it's time for me to move to the front. I'm going to take a section at the parietal ridge, and I'm going to clip that bottom out of the way. That bottom side is about length and density. I don't want to layer that bottom side. What I do, however, want to do is layer this top area. So after I've sectioned it out, I'm going to clip that hair out of the way that I'm not cutting, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, parietal ridge, clipping that underneath side out of the way. That is length and density. I don't need to mess with it. Now, after I've completed that, in order for me to get these top layers, instead of me standing on my tippy toes and cutting it, I'm going to actually tilt her head forward, and with that head forward, I can start to work with those concave layers in the same way that I worked with the back. So we take that center section with the head tilted forward. I'm going to use that back section as my guide, and I'm going to continue working in that concave layer, using the tips of my shears, opening and closing, softening that up, maintaining my perimeter length. I will continue working on that center mohawk section, over-directing the hair to the center, point cutting in, using that back section as my guide, and point cutting through, creating a nice soft concave layer. Repeating on the other side with that head tilted forward, opening and closing my shears, point cutting through, over-directing that hair to the center to really preserve that corner, giving her a nice concave layer. So now, using stroke number 1 with my shears, I want to create a little bit of softness internally. If I just cut the outside length the way that I did, it's still going to be a bit heavy. Even though I have a nice soft, refined finish, I still want to soften up the internal part of the haircut. So the length is what we manage on the outside. The density is what we get to manage on the inside. So I'm going to take my shears using stroke number 1, and I'm going to take vertical sections, and I'm going to start to just remove density internally. So as I go through, I'm just opening and closing my shears, working from the mid shaft down to the ends, nice and softly. And whenever I'm doing this, I'm thinking about, how do I help to maintain softness in the haircut? What can I do to make this hair have movement, be pliable, be easy to blow dry? And if those ends are too tense and they're too blunt, then I'm going to have a hard time blow drying those nice and softly. After I've removed some density internally, I can also move to my texturizing shears as an alternative or as an addition of the removing of density. So here I'm still going from the mid shaft down. I'm opening and closing using stroke number 1, removing internal weight, removing internal density to soften up that line, to really make sure that that hair is pliable and manageable. As I finish up the top, I'm going to move on to the back, and I'm going to follow the same idea, working my way, opening and closing, always softly using the internal part of my shears, nice and light, to just remove some density, making sure not to remove any density or length at the perimeter line. We want to maintain that for this time so that way we really can preserve it. And if we want to remove more and soften it up later, we have that option once it's dry. So I'm really just putting in a very general shape and a very general idea of what I want to do, knowing that after it's dry, I can spend a little more time refining it, making its best self. At this point, I'm now just taking the hair and grabbing where it feels heavy and just feeling that hair and thinking to myself, how do I make this blow dry easy? How do I make this hair soft and pliable? And at the same time knowing that once it's dry is when I'll really be refining this haircut. So after I've finished the initial shape in terms of length and density, now it's time to blow dry it. So I'm going to wrap dry the hair, I'm going to smooth it out. I don't need to work so hard to get this hair straight. It's nice and pliable, and now that I've removed some of that length and that density, it should be much easier for me to work with. After I've completed the blow dry, after I've smoothed that hair out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a section from the top of the crown to behind the ear, and then it's time to refine the perimeter length in the back. And as you'll notice, even though I took really big sections, the refinement for that back is really easy. There's not a lot of work to it. I don't have to fix a blunt line. Instead, I can just soften up my soft line. I can strengthen it up. I can make it however I want it to be, making sure that head is tilted forward. I can just go in and refine it. And once I'm done refining that perimeter line with the head tilted forward, the head comes back up, and I continue to refine that perimeter line in the back so that it is its best self. When that's completed, I take that hair and we're going to look at that connection from the back to the front. So as you can see from the previous haircut where it was cut all the way into that perimeter line on the sides, I want to start to balance out the length and the density. So I'm going to open it up a little bit more. I'm going to make it so that the hair starts to connect a little bit, and then we're going to start to address some of the density. So as I refine this haircut, I'm just taking the hair, little bits, and I'm opening and closing, I'm softening it up, and I'm really just making sure that this haircut makes the most sense possible, bringing that hair all forward so I can refine it and soften it up and make it its best self. So as I'm moving around length, I can also start to manage density using the internal part of my texturizing shear, stroke number 1, to just soften up any weight. I can go in and just remove that weight internally in the back and on the sides and the front until at the end I have a more complete, more balanced haircut that, to me, feels very finished and a much better version of what it was. So because we have such an excellent haircut in place, the style is secondary, so we're going to put a little bend in there. So I'm going to take my curling iron, I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to do what we call a twisted barrel curl. I'm just going to take the hair in very loose sections, very light, and I'm just going to put a little bend in the hair. So for me, because I have such a great haircut, the style is easier. If the haircut was more difficult, and if the haircut was heavier and stronger, then I would have a harder time styling it. So whenever I'm cutting hair, I'm thinking, how can I cut it so that it's more easily stylable? And this is, again, a technique that I always want to make sure my guest knows how to do. Cutting hair both wet and dry gives you control when starting the haircut and freedom when refining it. You can create this long layered look with precision by incorporating both techniques.